Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts. I'm Exterminator, and thank you so much for joining me today. We are on number 434, Galaxy of Fame, and this is a pretty cool thing. This is a nice little surprise. Uh, Last update they released with Space Age here over the last few days, and I never really expected something like this, but it's really a cool feature. So let's just hop right into it. This is from Clonin and Twinton. First off, they talk about Space Age reception. So the reaction to Space Age launch has rocketed past our wildest expectations. We had almost 100,000 concurrent players. And as of writing this post, we have passed 400,000 copies sold, which is insane. The game hasn't even been out a week, and they've sold almost 500,000 copies. That is absolutely crazy to me. But I mean, they deserve it. They did an excellent job. They've always done an excellent job, and they absolutely deserve this. So this is this is great news. Definitely above kind of what I expected, not because I expected bad reception, but man, 400,000 copies in like basically 4 or 5 days is absolutely just crazy. Needless to say, from all of us here, thank you. Factorio would not be possible without the support of our fans and players. We are working hard to address all the feedback and issues you reported to us on the forums, Reddit, and Discord. And I know there's like some bugs here and there and stuff, but you know, I have complete faith in the devs. They've never let us down. They won't going forward either. And I'm sure they're gonna knock things out. I mean, they've been releasing like an update a day at least with a bunch of fixes and stuff. So definitely should have things pretty much good to go here soon, I think. I personally have not encountered any bugs, and I mean that's just kind of I think the standard Factorio, like it's not like bug ridden. It's just maybe a few little edge cases here and there. But moving on to the big part of this, which is the Galaxy of Fame. This week, Kovrex, Lucas, and Venzez finished off our last little surprise for Space Age, the Galaxy of Fame. And this is so cool. So basically, how this works is when a player finishes Space Age and reaches interstellar space, which is like basically after you leave from Quello. I mean, this is a spoiler, I guess, but the game's out. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to prevent spoilers at this point, really. But once you like leave Aquello, then you go to like the solar system edge, and then if you continue from there, you hit interstellar space, and you were then invited to upload a snapshot of the game to the Galaxy of Fame, and it shows you this, which is pretty awesome. And then once you upload, you can find your star in the Galaxy of Fame, where you can see details such as general map info, title, comment, time played, chart view of planets and platforms, item, energy, and kill statistics, which is pretty sweet. So you can actually like click on the stars and you can see, and Colonel Will actually is in the Friday Facts here. So this is his crew in their massive like interstellar spaceship brick and all of their platforms. You can see their statistics here, and this is absolutely awesome. So it's so cool. You can basically just be eternalized in this galaxy here, which is so awesome. And I'm going to show you that here in a second after we finish reading this. So you can browse around and see other people's factories and see how they work. You might notice that some of the maps look a bit suspicious. Well, at this time we aren't blocking saves that use cheats commands editor, as we don't want to be overly restrictive, but they will add some filtering options soon. So yeah, I mean technically you can just like go on the editor and basically make a platform and get there if you want, if you want to get there that bad. But I mean, I don't think it's really a race. As far as I can tell, there's like no cap on it. How many players can, submit and be shown in the galaxy? So I think generally you wouldn't need to do that, but I suppose you can if you want. There's only a single Galaxy of Fame entry per player account. Uploading a new one will overwrite the previous one, and the option will be in the in-game menu after completing Space Age. Since the feature is quite new, there are some other details worth sharing. Location size, color, and shape of each star is random and assigned at first upload. Zooming issues on mobile are known will be fixed. Error 100 when uploading is known. And then we support uploading modded saves, which is awesome. So mods will not disable this. Galaxy Fame will receive more updates in the future, which is also really cool. As you can see, there aren't that many stars lighting up the galaxy yet, but there will be. And I'm going to hop out of full screen here and come over, and we can actually take a look. So I'm going to go back into full screen, and if you mouse over this, you can see all these names. So here's mango pork, not melon, Colonel Will was up here somewhere. I think that this is a different Kovarex because I actually saw the actual Kovarex in here earlier. Um, Bobby, Zulon, he's a speedrunner. I don't. Oh, there's Colonel Weld. There's Kovarex underneath him. Stolen Cheat. I mean, there's a bunch of people here, and then you can zoom out, and this is it. This is it. So this is the only people who have made it on here so far. It does seem like it goes from the inward out, so it's not like there's stars way out here randomly. It does seem like it kind of expands from like out towards the edges, but yeah, this is super cool. Here's Troopin, and I need to check if I can upload. It was a little unclear to me, at least. I need to check if I can upload from beating the game prior to this happening because I have not had a chance to actually beat the game since this release, but I did beat the game prior to release, so I'm it would be cool if I could upload from that, but if not, no worries. I'll get to it when I beat the game, like on stream or in my playthrough. I'm not in a huge rush. Again, I don't think it's really a race. I don't really mind if I'm further out or not. It's just cool to generally be there. But let's move on to Factorio 2.0 in Nintendo Switch. So I'm going to just kind of summarize this. Basically, unfortunately, Space Age will not be coming to Nintendo Switch. It just does not have the hardware to be able to support it because you have these huge factories on like at least five surfaces, being 4 planets and 1 platform, but you're probably gonna have more platforms, so just multiple different surfaces, and there's just not enough like RAM or VRAM or CPU power. Like they just literally can't make it run on a Switch, which I know is going to disappoint some people, but hey, it is what it is. Like it's honestly amazing that Factorio, just normal Factorio, can run so well on a Switch. But 2.0 is coming to Switch, so you will still get the 2.0 free update, which is really good. I mean, it's not like elevator rails or space or anything like that, or quality, but you do get a ton of quality of life updates, and I did actually make a video specifically covering stuff you do get with the 2.0 update. So if you're curious what you might get coming to Switch, then you can check out that video. But generally, it's just a bunch of really great quality of life stuff and updates and changes and new things. So you will still have some cool new content to mess with. And Twinston doesn't want to give like an exact time for this because console releases can take a long time sometimes, but his general guess would be like 1 to 2 months from now is when this would be ready to release. And then it says, meanwhile, I recommend you finish your current playthrough if you are almost finishing your save game, as the 2.0 update comes with some updates to Rails, fluids, recipes, and technologies that might break part of your base, and on Switch you will not be able to downgrade once you upgrade. So this is actually a really important note here. And then they end with saying, as always, let us know what you think at the usual places. One thing I wanted to touch on was I saw quite a few questions in like the Reddit asking like, is there going to be more updates to Factorio at this point? Or, I mean, like after the bug fixes, or like what's the plan going forward? They sold so many copies, like do they plan to release another expansion, or like what's the plan at this point after this success? And what I can tell you, I don't want to speak for the devs, but what I can tell you from seeing, there was an interview with Kovarex, but also just talking with the devs in person at the LAN beta party, was that there is pretty much guaranteed to be a 2.1 update that adds like some stuff that they just couldn't fit into 2.0. There's just some small, or not small, but there's like some features that they just weren't able to fit into 2.0. I don't know exactly what those are going to be, but they did say there's going to be a 2.1, and then there might be a 2.2. That one is less, guaranteed, I guess, but the 2.1 I think is highly likely that will happen. And then after that, Kovarex talked about the fact that he wants to work on an RPG game. So basically, I don't think there's going to be any Factorio, like another DLC or anything after this one. But again, there's 2.1, maybe 2.2. The modding capabilities are just insane with Space Age now, so I don't think we're going to run out of content. Just Space Age itself has probably thousands of hours of content within it, depending how you like to play and stuff. And you know what? I'm totally down to play any game they release. Like, Kovarex said he wants to make an RPG and make it totally different than any RPG that's been released. And honestly, if there's like a person in a team that can do that, it's this team, because I mean the devs are just like there's a reason they sold 400,000 copies in 4 days. Like they create incredible things and really unique. Like Factorio was basically the first game of its kind when it came out. Now there's a bunch of games like it, but it was really unique, and I think they could probably do that with an RPG too. I think he mentioned wanting it to be kind of roguelike or maybe 2D or something, which for me is not entirely my cup of tea. I kind of prefer, if I do play RPGs, I kind of prefer them to be, like 3D, like third person or first person. But honestly, I will play basically anything this team makes and at least try it and see if I like it. And I'm really excited for what that might be. Now, obviously, that's not like this year or next year, probably. That's probably quite a ways off. But I don't think they're just going to, like, step out of the gaming industry entirely now that they've, sold their copies and stuff. I think they're definitely going to forge ahead with new and different things. So that's very exciting. Pretty much it for this one. Not too much else to add. I don't know how many more Friday Facts we'll be getting consistently at this point. I know they did mention that like they were going to do one after release and then they're going to slow it down. So I'm sure we'll get some with as we get more updates to like the Galaxy of Fame and then like once 2.1 comes out, stuff like that. But probably not going to be one every week going forward, but that's fine. There's plenty of other content. I can make plenty of other things you guys can do, like play the game. But that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Congrats to the devs for such success. Absolutely deserve it. And until next time, thank you all again. If you enjoyed, a like is appreciated. If you're having a blast in Space Age, drop a like. Let me know. How are you enjoying Space Age? Let me know in the comments. And if you are not subscribed and, would like to keep up with future Space Age content on my channel, feel free to sub. But until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.